So every transformation you've seen the police go through is a police that started that way. That was the root of the Nigeria police. And that also means that fundamentally certain things have to change. And then they went through military dictatorship, and they were used a lot, even for civilian dictatorship. I remember when I was growing, I was about 12 years old in 1983, during the Shagari election. Police, the people they call kill and go now, which is the PMF, used to come around and just beat up people, you know. You could be, if you're walking on the road and they just jump out of there.
That's the mobile police?
Yes, they call them godo-godo and just beat people up for no reason. And they still do it now, but, you know, it's slightly reduced, but you still find them, like, really very aggressive and very provocative and, you know, very disrespectful of fundamental human rights. So, but the point I'm making is that they had all this transformation that weren't cool, weren't nice. It wasn't policing. It's part of the reason why I said maybe part of what needs to change is to remove the force from the police and call it the Nigeria Police Service or the police department, whatever you want to call it. Because I think the force makes them think that they are the enemies of the people, that they are at war against the civilian populace. And then you look at also things you can't ignore. It's remuneration, pay, training, oversight. All these things are lacking in Nigeria police. I have been involved in police very much in the last 1 year. In 2025 in particular, I was arrested and charged 5 times. And I'm amazed at the level of breakdown of hierarchy and control in the police. Like, there are junior police officers who don't listen to commissioners of police because of the kind of connections they have at the top, or depending on who their political backers are. And that's where all these, you know, criminal promotions are coming from. You have like cost 22 with CSPs and SP, and somebody who's cost 25 is already ACP. Somebody who is doing better than them but doesn't have political connection gets promoted over them. There was a case reported in which a guy became ACP, and within, I think he became CSP, and within 1 month in CSP had become ACP. Those things we have to get rid of all those things. But we must also pay attention to humanizing the police. Because if you look at their barracks, they live like animals, and then you are not surprised why they behave like animals. You don't have insurance for them. If their wife and if they die, their children and wives are thrown out of the barracks. They don't have life insurance. They don't even have health insurance. Most of them now no longer have any reasonable form of retirement benefit. So they are there while they're in the police force trying to get, you know, whatever they can by extortion, by cruelty, and they also want to get their retirement benefits in advance. That's why you see all of this happening. But retraining, remuneration, oversight, regulation, and ensuring that you have a police force in which things are done right and they are well documented. Because one of the things that came out of this particular report I'm telling you is that the police said the Akuzu SARS, which I'm sure is...
That's the report on AMA's case?
Yes. They have no record of detainees there. And the reason they don't record detainees is that if you go missing, there's no paperwork to say we arrested you. And then it's easy for them to kill people and sell their organs. Because there's no record. It was by their own investigation that they found that they arrested people through their families who came and testified. So there should never be a case where there should be a central registry in the country that if I get arrested, before you book me to the cell, the headquarters must have my information and my biodata. So that if my family, and you must inform my family within an hour of my arrest or 30 minutes. You must find a way to let my family know where are you from. As long as I'm not in coma, you must ensure that my family is informed that I'm with you. You find out a lot of people at a police station, their families have not seen them for days or even weeks. Sometimes their families are looking for them in mortuaries, and they are in police station. And the moment the police know that the family don't know that those people are with them, then they might end up in a mortuary without their organs. So this organ trafficking thing you're hearing is not relative to Akunzu alone. It's a nationwide criminal network, and the police is actively...
And we have investigations to back this.
Of course. Because if you sell somebody's kidney, you know how much that is? So if you can prove that somebody has no family who's going to come after you, why won't you kill them and sell their kidney instead of wasting your time taking them to court or, dumping their body inside a river? So these atrocities have gone on for too long. And to your point about the new sheriff in town, he definitely has a lot of work to do. I don't know how much time he has to do because I believe he's retiring soon as well. But, you know, that's a conversation for another day. And I would say publicly here that I know Tunji Disu. He could be a very fine officer. You know, I wouldn't even say fine, he's a cool person. But that's not enough to be Inspector General of Police. You have to be firm. You have to have, you know, strategy. You have to be mission driven. You have to have mission. And you must also be willing to leave a legacy that will outlast you. So I've not studied him in those departments. And considering the fact that he was brought to the police by the ruling party, it's because of who he knows. He used to be the ADC to the current president, one of his first ADCs. So you have to worry about political influence.
No, but I mean, if you check his resume too, you could see a couple of things that they might say, hey, this things qualify him for.
No, that's why I made that caveat.
Exactly.
But I've written about him that I see one of his major flaw is indecisiveness. You know, because any police officer who wants to be in the good books of everybody, especially the higher ups, would have that problem. So otherwise, his work is cut out for him. And he can make a difference. The easiest time to make a difference in any rotten society or any rotten organization or agency is when it's most rotten. Because every little effort you make to fix it, the world will fail it.
You think a case like this is one of those?
Of course. Not only this case, we have told him that he should get all the civil society people together and have an agreement on how to treat human rights. Because that's non-negotiable. This idea of arresting people on behalf of pastors, governors, looking for cyber crime, that has become almost a major preoccupation of the police. The police should go back to policing, protecting society and our communities, and ensuring that they develop intelligence to prevent crime and prosecute where there is, and respect human rights. So if they are not willing to do any of that, he will go down even worse than his predecessors. The reason being that he's likely better welcome than his predecessors, because a lot of young people know him.
Yeah.
So if he disappoints, they will mess him up.
All right. Before I let you go, I want us to speak basically. I'm really pro youth, so I really want to know how do we?
What do you think I'm pro adult?
Oh, that's why. I mean, that's why you're on the program. I mean, because you're pro youth. That's why I brought you on the program.
I'm old but youthful. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, so basically, so I'm saying. There's always this friction between the police and the youth. Where do we draw the line? Where do we stop it? How do we make it work?
This is a mistake people make. You know, it's a class issue. The police is also friendly with classy youths. the police department, the police force loves young people with money.
So it's an economic divide.
It's class. You know, if you are poor, the system hates you. It doesn't protect you. It tramples up on you. If you're rich, they'll give you 50 policemen, even if you are committing crime. Like all the Yahoo guys have some of the best police protection in this country. We all know that. So it's not an anti-youth thing. It's an anti-class issue. And what will surprise you is that it's a poor policeman who protects the rich youths.